Carolina, guess who I found this week at camp? Sarabeth. And Sarabeth's got a few things she wants to share with you guys this morning. First thing she wants to, how's camp going for you? Tell us how camp's going.
It's going really good. It's exciting, and it's a new group of kids every week. And so I'm getting to get to know a different group of kids every week and pour into a different group of kids. And coming to camp was out of my comfort zone, but I cannot express how glad I am that I did it, because I had my doubts going into it. But being here has like confirmed my calling to be here, and I've enjoyed every minute of it so far. It's tiring, and there's a lot of stuff that you don't see as a camper that the staffers do, but it definitely makes all of it worth it.
So tell us, what are some of the biggest things that you have personally learned so far this summer?
Again, with the comfort zone, once you let Jesus get you out of it, it's totally worth it, and he just continues to pull you further from it. And another thing that happened last week, that like every day I felt like God was showing it to me every time I prayed, every time a camper asked me a question, every time we had open discussion like in staff meetings and stuff, was just that when I pray, I'm praying to Jesus. So like my prayers don't have to sound right just because I'm around a bunch of people who have been at the Institute or have already been on staff. Like my job as a staffer isn't to impress them, it's to talk to Jesus, and it's to say what I want to say. It's to ask him the things that I want to see done. And another thing is, one of the doubts that I had when I was like applying and thinking about being here was that some of the staffers have already done camp, and so they kind of know how to handle different situations maybe better than I would. And so I always struggled with that. Like when other staffers would ask me a question, I would like struggle to find the right answer. And then when I had campers come up to me and ask me about stuff, I always wanted to find the right answer and the right thing to say, but that was me being selfish and like making myself sound good. When in reality, like my job as a staffer is to relay what Jesus is telling me, and so I know if I let him speak through me, whatever I say will be what needs to be said, and it won't have to be right. It'll be what he's telling me to say, so therefore it'll be whatever they need to hear.
So that's cool. Now you can see that little hole at the bottom, that's the church. They're 350 miles away, but you can tell them today, what do you want to share with them from what you've learned at camp? What is something that you could say, hey, I would like Carolina to know this? What would that be?
Okay, so I love Carolina, and I've loved being there for the past 18 years, and I can't wait to be back with y'all because I miss y'all a whole lot. But being pulled out of it and like looking back, like just in the youth group, I can see from the outside looking in that we're in a rut. And seeing them here at camp this week, they're different kids. They're not as spiritually excited maybe as I remember them being in past years and stuff, and that hurts me to see. And I just feel like they're in a rut. I feel like they're dry, and I was too 4 weeks ago, and I didn't see it, but being pulled out of it and looking from the outside, I can see that now. And so if there was one thing that I could tell y'all and them, is that nothing gets done when you're in a rut. When you're in a rut, you stay there and you get bored and things get dry and nothing happens. And so then you get bored and you have a bad attitude about it. But you know, if we're the ones that allow it to stay in a rut, that's our fault. And so I would say just
Dig down.
yeah, definitely. And don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, because again, like I said before, nothing happens in a comfort zone, and as the result of a rut, you get in a comfort zone. And so then you don't really want to get out of it, because Jesus might make you do this, or he might call you to do this, or things that you don't think you're good at, things you're afraid to do, or whatever. But when you allow him to pull you out of that, that's when he uses you in really big ways. And I've been able to see that in myself and in the other staffers and in campers each and every week. And the campers teach me stuff every week because I get to see them get out of their comfort zone. Like our family leaders, they lead the campers every day in reflections and Bible studies, and some of them have no idea what they're doing, but then they get into it and they let Jesus speak through them, and they let Jesus work in them, and they get to pour that into the other campers. And so you get to see them have a huge effect on other campers. and that's all because they didn't stay in that rut. They got out of that comfort zone.
Well, there you go. Hey, she's going to be back with us in a couple weeks in August, and we look forward to hearing more of this kind of stuff and more stories of how campers' lives were changed from our little girl that came out of Carolina and is doing mighty things for the Lord. So we look forward to hearing more stories like this. We love Sarabeth, but she's got to go and get ready for tonight, and we'll talk more later. All right.